Well, recollections may vary, but according to Harry, his life was threatened today in court. And this is, well, more or less what happened, according to Gingerbread. It's a bit of an exaggeration because it seems that it was overly attached sausage fan that came out wrong as usual. But before we move on to and talk about what happened in the court and why Harry fears for his life, still uses those words in court. I have to mention this reply from Heather Simpson was just perfect. It was so weird, but Harry felt compelled to share intimate stories in despair, like when he buried a dead human fetus in the backyard, but not about his wife's brush with death by postpartum preeclampsia. Again, it's like they always got like new stories to tell because they maybe they forgot. You know that Meghan has pulled that maybe I forgot thing other times. You remember when she said, maybe I forgot. I actually sent those emails. I actually sent those letters. Yeah, maybe she actually forgot. She and Harry actually forgot that she got preeclampsia for all his story of despair. Well, it so happens that we have memes as well, thanks to IHT_12 off to court. But the court, you know that something happened in which Prince Harry was dramatically hurried out of the courtroom by his bodyguards today during a hearing into his security arrangements following an outburst by a supporter. This was an overly attached lady. The Duke of Sussex was at the Court of Appeal to challenge the dismissal shortly after the proceedings were paused to allow the room to be cleared early this afternoon. A member of the public shouted her support for the Duke as he left the courtroom, saying, "I support you, Prince Harry." So let me get this straight. There's a lady in court. There's just a lady right there. He is already leaving the courtroom, okay? As he left the courtroom, says here, and she shouted, "I support you, Prince Harry." And for some reason, they want to spin it like Harry's life was on the edge, that he was close to an attempt on his life. It says this is the most baffling thing, and the theories don't end there because it is a rumor that people already knows who the overly excited lady is. We already know who it is, says Royally Sage. We have seen this woman before, Misty Law Flurry. Oh yeah, there's already a pattern. And the description, I have not confirmed the description. Jam Ben 1 has seen a photo, a picture, a screenshot of the court. And it seems that it is not the same person, but it's somebody's talking about a black bald lady. So perhaps she is. But this is the most important thing. This is the most relevant thing. Harry still claims that his life is at stake. Like he is still in danger if this protection, this international protected person status is not upheld, and he is not protected everywhere in the world, his life will be at stake. And I think that his life is at stake in the sense that not that he is threatened by terrorist groups or the Taliban or Al Qaeda or nothing of the sort. No, nobody cares about Harry. Nobody cares even when he lands. Not even the king cares when Harry lands in London. But I think it's more like Meghan is gonna rip his head off if he doesn't win this whatever he's doing here. I mean, there's a very good post by Christian Frueba and says that let's compare. Let's set the record straight. Let's compare. Harrison Ford is worth over $300 million, movie star known the world over. He lives in LA, has no bodyguard and no driver, has 4 children, several grandchildren. To be fair, it's like Harrison Ford is a bona fide action hero, so I guess if something happened, he doesn't. It's like Liam Neeson. He doesn't have bodyguards. He will do the things himself. And since the 1960s, rides his bike all over town. Never discusses his private life, no danger ever. His kids live private lives. He takes subway in New York City. Prince Harry, worth around what? $5 million and mostly dead. Never stops talking to the press, says PR agencies to be in the press. Famous because of his parents. Never stops talking about his family. And of course, never stops promoting all those car park paparazzi encounters of his Valley Girl wife. Be like Harrison Ford, not like Prince Harry. Yeah, this is the message today. Again, the Sun as well says, Harry begs, my life is at stake, as he appeals against decision to axe publicly funded security while in UK. And, more details about this. Lady Linda B.S. The woman has been identified as being a member of the Harkle's Sausage Squad. Like, this was all organized. And in all cases, is the loudest threat that you can imagine. I support you, Prince Harry, and you are rushed out of the courtroom? I mean, how I have a word for that, but I don't want to say that word here in the Royal Road. You know that I have gotten into trouble with my other channels saying certain words. I'm not gonna say the word, but that Harry, in Venezuela we have a word for that. Harry knows this woman, so the question must be asked: was this a pre-arranged stunt to try and aid his case? Perhaps the judge should be made aware of this. And again, I would say that this is a very good theory. By the way, this was a quote to JFlan92. Folks, this is the Sausage Squad stooge called Danny, who was responsible for the interruption during has-been's court case earlier this afternoon. She shouted, I support you, Harry. That is important. I'm going to explain you right now why. Across the court to him. As a result, was quickly ushered out of court by his security guys. Let's pretend for a minute. Try to think for a minute. What are the odds here? If this was somebody who they hired, if this was pre-arranged, if this was a setup by, the Montecito morons, they couldn't do something that was an actual threat. There can be actual threats on people's lives with dangerous items and things like that, or with other kind of I don't know, maybe insults or something like that. That would make more sense. How is a threat somebody yelling, "I support you, Harry"? But at the same time, it makes more sense that if you hire somebody or ask somebody, because sometimes you don't even have to hire these crazy people. They would do it just to be part of something. To be, I want to do this. I will do this either way. It would make sense for them to shout out something that is in support, or shout something, and in this case is something in support. So only if you have brain damage, only if you are cognitively impaired, only if you have a room temperature IQ, would you assume that "I support you, Harry" is some kind of threat, especially if you have already walking out of the courtroom, and especially if you are surrounded by your bodyguards. Nobody would think that is a threat, but maybe it was a signal for them to be rushed out, so you can tell that to the press. Oh yes, there's this people around, there's this people close to Harry doing this kind of things. And in case, why is the words "I support you, Harry"? In case there's the police, or I don't know, the security of the courtroom gets involved, they would ask the woman, and they would say, "Oh, I am not a threat. I was just saying that I support Harry, and he was already leaving." It's perfect. It's a perfect setup. Like, she gets away with it because nobody was gonna accuse her. Or what are you going to accuse her of? Of supporting Harry? You're gonna accuse her of being a moron. Yeah, that's one thing, but nobody's gonna accuse her of any threat. But you can use that as, "Oh my God, yes, my life was in danger because..." I'm speaking like Bernie Sanders instead of Harry. Oh my God, I got my accents mixed up. It's like, yeah, you can use that, like, "Oh yes, somebody was so close to me that they could have done something dangerous on my life." Was the betting that A, this is a squatty, and B, it was a setup that backfired and will probably end up being investigated. It should be investigated. But I don't know, because the UK, in terms of investigation, there are things that I wanted to talk about, things happening in the UK here in the Royal Rogue channel, but I don't want to talk about, I want to keep this channel entertaining. So many things happening nowadays in the world, especially in the UK. I want to keep this channel light up. I have other channels that are maybe more serious, sometimes even depressing. I don't want to make the Royal Rogue about any of the stuff that is going on in the UK. But I'm gonna read this briefly. Prince Harry was escorted by the bespectacled supporter, a diminutive, she was a small, shaven-headed black woman who looked in her 50s, had attracted attention after arriving late to the public gallery. You had to arrive late. You had to attract attention to yourself. And repeatedly shifting in her seat and fiddling and fidgeting with 2 phones and a notebook. I have no proof, but no doubts either that she was making sounds with her mouth, like, I'm pretty sure of that. I'm absolutely sure of that. The Duke's long-term head security man, David Langdon, and another burly aide appeared to focus on the woman, anxious if a threat to his safety was present. When the hearing broke so the public and press could leave before a secret session involving security details could begin, Langdon and the other bodyguard ensured that as the Duke was led out of the room at the Royal Courts of Justice, they were between him and the woman. A woman in her 50s. A woman in her 50s. Okay, those are just a threat in those woke Disney movies. Yeah, you know, when a lady takes on like 4 or 5 full-size guys, that is unrealistic. As he passed her within touching distance, the woman suddenly shouted out indistinctly what appeared to be, "I support you, Prince Harry." I find this funny. Indistinctly, you don't even know what she said. Maybe the accent was so thick. As the Duke was hurried out, the woman turned to the press gallery and said, "If you're members of the press, you're the reason he's not in England." She was then kept to one side by a member of court security before being let out of the building away from members of the public. As she was let out, the Daily Mail approached to ask what she was talking about. She refused to say, of course, because she had to keep her mouth shut. Oh, because she could take, maybe she was instructed to keep her mouth shut. We know how this works. Sabira Long's squad being stupid again, I see. They set off their own paranoid guy. Well done. Yes. According to Das, did Harry get a squatty to create drama to bolster his case? But perhaps we know that he does this kind of stuff. And the prince says 100% mission accomplished by myself and my fellow squatty. As St. Paul says, peace ad Toro. Is this the people? Is this? Well. Oh, well. And before we move on to say something about Meghan, by the way, he served his country and he served it heroically. Mike from Cumbria, which I'm pretty sure is an absolutely made-up name, who served with Prince Harry in Iraq, says his time in the army, being a royal and being Princess Diana's son, justifies full police protection. Being Princess Diana's son. No, this is way too much. Moving on to Meghan, I got this meme from Nina, no link 29. Somebody said that Harry ran faster. Oh no, this is the combination between Harry and Meghan. Somebody said that Harry ran faster than Meghan's jam from that courtroom, and I can't catch myself. Spot on. And well, Meghan now is chiming in on Trump's tariffs, as it seems. Meghan Markle suggests U.S. is headed for a recession as she talks about impact of Trump's tariffs on her Lux as Ever brand. No, yeah, Lux? I don't think it's Lux. To Rebecca High, so Meghan Markle survives a huge medical scare. We were talking about that at the beginning. A New York car chase, marriage to a dumb prince from a racist family, and still lives to make the worst lifestyle TV and podcasts in human history, while arranging fruit and saying you're gonna show up and elevate and dead flowers. Remarkable! Yet the non-prince wants the royal family to apologize to this narcissist Meghan. Numb nuts. Yeah, this is what we got today. This is the insanity that we got today, and this is the soap opera that we never never knew we needed, but we got anyway. But I would like to know what do you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Much love and bliss.